Lord, I thank you for the opportunity to work with compassionate professionals, people who are trained to do a task that is sometimes, maybe often, thankless, but also a task that serves in ways that are immeasurable. I thank you for this group here, the group in this room, and the group of nurses that work in this hospital, the commitment they have to each other, to their patients, to this organization, to this community. What a privilege it is to be a part of their world, be a part of this organization. I ask that you would bless them individually, bless them in their work, in their homes, their families, in the way that they serve others. That's, I think, the nature of a nurse is service, caring, and I ask that you would give them strength when they need it, give them the encouragement that they need. You tell us in your word that we should encourage one another and build one another up, and I know that I see that every day, how these nurses do that. I pray that you give them the strength they need when they care for patients. I pray that you give them the wisdom in making decisions, particularly in time of crisis, that they would know what to do and when to do and how to do it. But just that you would each day in some way encourage them. And I just offer your blessings on their lives and on their careers. Ask that you would bless the food that we've eaten, that we might eat, that we've already eaten this day. And just, Lord, I ask again a special, your special care and love over all those that are called nurses. We do this in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Thank you, Don. There are a couple of seats. Well, there's one seat up here for anybody that needs a seat. This is our 10th annual Nursing Excellence Celebration. This is the 10th time I've got to stand up here in front of you. We're recognizing over 280 nursing service employees at Fairview Park and 235 nurses. That number is growing daily. As our patient count rises, we're trying to keep track and keep pace with that growth and provide that number of nurses. So I would imagine next year we're going to tip over 300. Yes, right? Yes. Okay. I just wanted to mention, we all know this is an HCA facility, but we don't always hear about HCA as our partners, and they really are. This year they have identified this year as the nursing services are the differentiator for patient care. Well, I don't think that's news to any of us. We've known that all along. I always say that patients come to the hospital for nursing care. Every other service we offer is an outpatient or in a physician's office. But when you need that 24-hour care, you have to come to the hospital. I don't know if you know that HCA has over 87,000 nurses working for them across the country and in England. That's a lot of us. We have a lot of power within our organization to make things better for our patients. They describe nurses as the engine that allows other clinicians and the HCA family to deliver care. So we are the core, the heart of patient care. And we also provide care to over 27 million patients every day in our HCA hospitals. That's big. So this year, the American Nurses Association logo, if you haven't seen it, is a logo containing 3 I's, standing for nurses who innovate, inspire, and influence. And so that very well describes exactly what we do every day. HCA's new focus as the differentiator for care, as I mentioned, on our hospital and within our company, they're investing over $500 million in nursing in the next 3 years. That's a lot of money. And what they're doing is they're looking at ongoing education, development activities, equipment, and resources. And we've already started to see some of those here at our hospital. We need to continue to invest in you guys so we can continue to provide that great care. As you all know, May 6th through May 12th, every year is National Nurses Week. And if you don't know where the origin of that came from, Florence Nightingale's birthday is May 12th. So we have a whole week, and we culminate on her birthday to celebrate the beginning of our history as nurses. It was first recognized by nurses. We started our own movement in 1954, but it became really official in 1974 when the president declared National Nurses Week. I know most of you don't remember or were not around, but I do remember. Does anybody know who the president was in 1974?
Jimmy Carter?
Thank you for the young generation X/millennial, Lindsay. Yes, Richard Nixon was president in 1974. Tricky Dick identified National Nurses Day. That is one of the best things he did. Say what? Yeah, but it was actually President Nixon who did that. That is probably the best thing he did. Anyway, I know everybody here knows that our mission is above all else. We, oh my goodness, I just had a moment. Above all else, we're committed to the care and improvement of human life, and that's what you do every day. So you'll see behind you, you have our administrative team and our leaders in nursing services and around the hospital. We want to thank you. Okay. But I know what you're all waiting for. I know what you're waiting for. You want to know who our Nursing Excellence winners are for 2018. And I'd like to first see, can we please have all of our Nursing Excellence winners from past years stand so we can recognize them? If you don't know, Nursing Excellence started again 10 years ago. This is a process where peers nominate peers to be selected as recognizing what excellence in nursing is. The year's winners from last year were the selection committee for this year's winners. So we keep participating, recognizing those great performers, those great nurses, and have them choose the nurses for the following year. We have 5 areas. We have surgical services, we have critical care, we have med-surg, we have women's services, and we have a category that we call ancillary supporting areas because it didn't really fit in any of the other categories, so we kind of scrunched you into that. And so what we're going to do is we will bring up the director from those areas, I'll announce the winner, and then we'll tell you all about how great that nurse is. And I want you all to participate because we have some really great winners this year. So our first winner will be from surgical services. So I need Deborah and Brian to come up. And our winner from surgical services is Teresa White.
Y'all, I'm going to get pulled aside in a little while, and I'm going to get told, Brian, you know I like to fly under the radar.
Way down low.
But you can't be this good and fly under the radar.
Okay. This is Teresa White. Teresa works in our same-day surgery unit. She has been a nurse for a long time, like I have, so we're not going to say any years that goes with, but we are going to say that all of her staff, all of the staff that she works with, whether it be in the main OR, same day, appreciate her attitude of compassion and caring, and let me see, they wrote some lovely things about you. Excellence, integrity, and compassion. Says that she'll jump in. If she's finished with her task, she will ask you if you need any help. She doesn't hesitate to be sure that the patient is her first priority. If it means 1,400 phone calls, we'll get it. She'll get it done, okay? We want to congratulate Teresa. Thank y'all all.
So, don't go yet. We're not done. Teresa, we have a certificate for you that you can frame. I'm sure that Josh will help you find a lovely place to put that in the department. This is not a real check. I will tell all the future winners this is not a real check. You will see something on your payroll next time that'll be a real check. So just a little something, and we thank you for what you do,
Thank you so
Teresa.
very much.
Portions of this program are brought to you in part by Fairview Park Hospital, a leader in healthcare for Dublin, Lawrence, and surrounding communities. providing specialty services through facilities such as our Sleep Center, the Heart Center, and Women's Imaging Center.
Meet Kate, design consultant, always on the run.
Hi.
Wherever she goes, she can keep track of her accounts with Robbins Financial Credit Union's free online banking.
All I need is my phone or tablet, and I'm set.
She can open new accounts, transfer funds, or make mobile deposits with a simple snap of a picture.
That's my favorite, of course.
Last week, she even applied for her new car loan right from her tablet.
And I got exactly what I was looking for. Thanks, Robbins.
Robbins Financial Credit Union. Better banking for everyone.
Okay, so our next winner actually is coming from Critical Care Services. So we have Tammy and Sherry. And our winner from Critical Care Services is Megan Register.
I'm sorry I tricked you.
You need to,
You can't now.
you guys know I'm always ready. Take two there. Go great.
Okay. So let me tell you a little bit about Megan. Megan has been a nurse for 10 years. She's been in ICU for 9. She's currently working toward getting her nurse practitioner license. She's married. She has 2 beautiful little girls. If you were to ask any of Megan's coworkers about the kind of person that Megan is, these are what the things that they have said about you. She is honest, hardworking, and a huge patient advocate. Megan is very proactive on her patient care, and she makes sure that those patients get exactly what they need. Megan treats all her patients with the utmost respect and dignity. Megan is very compassionate when it comes to her patients. She is passionate in her role as a nurse, and that projects to the whole unit. Her knowledge makes her a fantastic resource for all nurses. Megan not only comes with knowledge and experience, but Megan demonstrates what our mission is, and that is that she is committed to the care and improvement of human life. You know, we talk about making a personal connection with our patients. Megan right here every single day makes a personal connection with her patients. And she also makes a personal connection with other people's patients. One day she was talking to Kelly about a patient, and I thought it was Megan's patient. But in fact, it was Kelly's patient, and it was like a whole life story about this patient's family member. And I was like, who's the nurse here? You know? But Megan just takes the time to get to know her patients and other people's patients, and she makes the biggest difference in their lives. And so I am just proud to say that you work for us, and I appreciate everything you do and the commitment that you give to our patients.
Our next winner will be from our ancillary and support areas, and I saw Alicia here. Is Debbie Lauber here with us? No? Okay, so our winner from the ancillary support nursing area is Sheila Clements.
August 15th, 2011. That's the date that Sheila agreed to become a part of our case management department. She's been a valuable asset as a case manager, both working in CCU and PCU. Prior to that, she took a short hiatus from nursing, but she had been here for many, many years, since 1983, serving 17 of those. Serving as the head nurse on 4th floor for 17 of those years. So she has been a mentor to many, many, many nurses. Her coworkers have a lot to say about her, and some of the things that they have said is she always has the patient's best interest in mind and strives to make sure the patient discharges to a safe place. Always willing to help coworkers, she goes above and beyond what is expected of her and is a wealth of information. Another coworker said Sheila is diligent. The resources needed to meet some patient needs are very limited. She has spent countless hours and hundreds of phone calls, literally, seeking services all over the state and out of the state for her patients. Sheila doesn't give up. And finally, one of her coworkers said, Sheila has always been there for me, whether it's for personal issues or work-related issues. A wonderful, compassionate, caring person. She's a great example of what a nurse should be. Sheila is truly dedicated to providing the best care and services for each of her patients, spending long hours evaluating their condition, discussing with the physicians and other disciplines to determine the best discharge plan to meet their needs, and then following through with the referrals needed to make that discharge plan work. She is always willing to help her coworkers and volunteers to pick up additional duties when we have been short-staffed. Sheila is a valuable asset to our department and to the hospital as a whole. I feel privileged to call her my friend. There are so many lives and stories that Sheila has impacted over the past 7 years just in case management. But one comes to mind about a young man that we had not too terribly long ago that had a serious injury and had trach, a peg, unable to walk, unable to communicate, and in a case manager's world, the worst thing, uninsured. So she worked diligently, making multiple referrals, working with her mom, knowing that one of the best things that could happen to this young gentleman is to go to Shepherd's. And she made that happen. Just a few short months later, that young gentleman no longer has a peg, he no longer has a trach, and he has a job. So, this is the type of attention and perseverance that Sheila displays with all of her patients, and most of the work occurs behind the scenes. So y'all don't see it, but she's out there diligently working. And she always keeps the patient's best interest foremost to make sure that that discharge plan occurs. Thank you, Sheila. For the extraordinary work that you do, and congratulations.
You have a certificate.
Thank you.
This will be on your next check. This is not a real check. Don't try to cash it. I want to give you a hug.
To get it, Shirley.
I don't know if you caught that, but 2 of our Nursing Excellence winners today actually left Fairview for a brief time and came back. We always want you to come back. So it's like, what a great story. The next winner is from Women's Services. I'll bring Katie and Michelle up here. And unfortunately, our nurse is not going to be able to join us because she decided that she really needed to work night shift last night, helping babies come into the world, and work night shift again tonight, helping more babies come into the world. But our winner from the Women's Services area this year is Carol Jones.
Carol Jones has been a nurse for 40 years. She actually did her nursing in Johannesburg, South Africa, and where she is actually a certified nurse midwife there. But she has spent 20 years of her nursing here at Fairview Park Hospital, here in our labor and delivery. And she has spent all of her 40 years of nursing delivering babies. Her coworkers describe her as courteous and knowledgeable. She's very much a team player and always works well with others. She has great communication skills and speaks to her patients with a calming voice and seems to settle even the most anxious of expectant mothers and fathers. She's able to maintain a calm composure even when faced with the most emergent or most difficult patient or situation. She serves as a charge nurse, and she's a great leader. She has a wealth of knowledge that she freely shares with her coworkers. She is further described by her coworkers as intelligent, compassionate, caring, trustworthy, and respectful. I personally first encountered Carol as a patient here myself, and then I later came to work here with her. She helped to grow me and mold me into the labor and delivery nurse that I am today.
Okay, so this year's winner from the Med-Surg arena is Shirley Moore.
So I'm probably going to be a little bit more long-winded, being that I have the Nurse of the Year. This October will mark 30 years that Shirley has been working for Fairview Park. She began her nursing career here as an LPN in 1988 on the 3rd floor, and she went back and got her BSN in 1993. She's a charge nurse in PCU. She is a chemo-certified nurse, and she's also a very valued member of our leadership team. Anyone who knows Shirley knows how much she loves her family, and before I even met her daughter Gwen, I felt like I really knew her, her grandchildren, everyone. If you've ever worked a 12-hour shift, you know all about those grandbabies, especially Keyshawn, who is graduating from AIT and going to Fort Carson, Colorado next week. Sasha's graduating from high school next week. So She really does. She's very family oriented. But that's just her biological family. She has a much larger family here at Fairview. And I've asked her so many times, Shirley, if we took a picture of you and all your babies that you have raised up in this hospital, what would that family portrait look like? I'm sure that some of you might even be in it. So I'm sure that we could all sit around and tell plenty of stories, some of which probably we need to share for another time. The rabbit story, buzzard bait. But I don't need to tell you a story of how good of a nurse Shirley Moore is. We all know that. She's an excellent nurse. And when I asked her coworkers, what comes to mind when you think of Shirley Moore? The first thing they said was IV. She can start an IV like no one you've ever seen. And they call from the ER, Shirley, this patient won't let anybody but you start an IV on them. She'll go down and start an IV. All over the hospital, that's what she's known for. I've gotten everything from, she's a human vein finder, to she could draw blood from a turnip. But that's just a skill. It's quickly followed up by her laugh. And she has the most contagious laugh I've ever heard. When she laughs, you laugh. You can't help it. When she laughs, her patients laugh. And she does a lot of laughing with her patients. It's the best laugh I've ever heard. It is healing. She has a calming presence for our patients and their families, but also for her coworkers too. And she's helped so many of us through difficult times, just being an ear, just listening. A patient posted on social media, "Thank you so much for your kindness while in your care yesterday. You are a very dedicated lady of your profession. Although you were doing, as most people would say, doing your job, you went above and beyond what most have done. In the past few weeks of Daddy being sick, we were in 3 different hospitals. You are heaven sent to the medical field. May God bless you, always in my thoughts. Thank you for making sure my dad was at ease for the few hours you had him in your care." She's generous, she's thoughtful, and there are countless stories of how Shirley has taken patients home when they didn't have a ride, or delivered prescriptions when they've left them on their bedside table and went home. It's nothing for her to do those things, and she doesn't ask for any recognition. So you have to be at the right place at the right time to know that she's doing it, because she doesn't want any recognition in return for her acts. And I happened to be at the right place at the right time one day, and I heard her on the phone, and I couldn't figure out what she was talking about. She was talking to a doctor's office, and we had a patient that had discharged about a week prior. And this patient was notoriously known for being here and loving coffee. She was on her way home from work and ran into him at the gas station, and he was wanting coffee, and he didn't have any money. So she bought his coffee, and in the process, she noticed that he was winded, he didn't look good, he wasn't feeling well, and so she asked him, "Are you taking your medications? Do I need to get some help for you?" She found out that he had not gone to his appointment. He had missed his appointment for a life vest, and he didn't know what medications. So she came to work the next day. She told him, "Go home, I'm going to fix this." She came to work the next day. She called the doctor's office. She arranged follow-up care for him. She arranged another appointment for a life vest. She got his medication straightened out. She called him and let him know what to do, where to go. And this is just one of the many times, that she's done this. It was one of the few times that I got to be a witness to it, because she would never let us know. So I'm so proud to say that I've had the opportunity to work with Shirley and to learn from her, but I'm most proud to say that I'm her friend.
Shirley, I have 2 certificates for you. Whoops, sorry. And Kleenex, of course. One is for your Nursing Excellence Award for the Med-Surg areas.
Okay, thank you.
One is for the 2018 Nurse of the Year.
Thank you.
And then this is a pretend check that I accidentally gave to Sheila. I'm sorry, but I got it back. And I think Sheila was going to keep it. But it will be on your next payroll check. And we appreciate what you do.
The temperature is rising. Why not make a big splash with your family and friends this summer with a pool from Georgia Pools? A relaxed and a luxurious feeling of a hot tub or sauna. Georgia Pools has a large selection of pool chemicals and accessories from name brands like Polaris, Aquabot, Pro Team Chemicals, and more. Already have a pool and need a new liner? Give Georgia Pools a call today at 478-275-3607 or stop in and visit their showroom at 1201 Hillcrest Parkway, Dublin, Georgia. Georgia Pools, Middle Georgia's largest above-ground pool dealer. Financing is available.
Hi, I'm Perry Williamson. We've been serving the Dublin Lawrence community for over 90 years here at Williamson's Bakery. We specialize in donuts, cakes, pies, cupcakes, cookies, birthday cakes. They're our business, not a hobby. And don't forget our large selection of cheese straws. For special orders, contact us on Facebook, Instagram, or better yet, just come get you some. When you stop by, be sure to try our all-new Pig in the Blankets. We have bacon, sausage, and chicken. We're located at 1634 Veterans Boulevard, Dublin, Georgia. For the hot, freshest donuts, come to Williamson's Bakery. We proudly support our area athletics.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been such a wonderful afternoon, getting the opportunity to be in this room to witness such amazing nurses and the work that they've been doing for many years here at Fairview Park Hospital. The Nurses Excellence Awards luncheon took place today, and of course, Lord have mercy, Nurse of the Year is to my right, and Megan. We're going to start with you, Megan.
Okay.
Share with the people of Dublin Lawrence County, talk to us about you, your family, share with us about your career, and we're going to segue to where we are today, winning this amazing award.
Okay, thank you. My name is Megan Register. I've been a nurse for 10 years. I've been married for 12 years. I have two daughters, Michaela, she's 12, and I have a 6-year-old, Alyssa. I started out my first year of nursing at the Medical Center of Central Georgia in Macon, built a great groundwork there, and then came back here to Fairview Park Hospital in the ICU unit on night shift. Progressed and moved up to day shift from there. I did venture out and did hospice for 2 years, and then I came back to Fairview Park Hospital for my love of care of the critical care patients and bedside nursing.
Very nice. Now, have you always been that, were you that little girl growing up that played with the dolls and took care of the cats and took care of the neighborhood kids and wanted to be a nurse when you grew up?
I did. I always wanted to be a nurse.
And you know, if you could really assess how these years have been for you in this field, what has been the most rewarding for you?
Starting out as a nurse, you really don't know anything, and you're constantly striving to learn more from your mentors. And I've had great people along the way, many of those here that have took me under their wing and taught me so many things. Through that, I've developed confidence, and that allows me to better take care of my patients. I've learned so much from my coworkers, so I can confidently care for my patients and provide compassionate care. That's what I strive for daily, to show empathy for what they're going through and try to personalize that for myself and be that listening ear. And the confidence is something you build through your years of nursing, not something that you come out of nursing school having.
You know, this is on-the-job training right here. And, you know, and like my experience that I've had as a patient here, it's been outstanding. And I've always remembered nurses and the care that you've taken with me. You know, you can say what you want about your nurse, but I know that the care that I've received with the nurses that have been there for me has been outstanding. So thank you so much, Megan. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
All right, Miss Shirley.
Hi.
You've been chopping at the bit to share with us today.
I have.
Talk with us if you would.
Well, my name is Shirley Moore. I've been here since '88, which makes 30 years for me this year. At the start, we were able to kind of be a little diverse as far as working in the ER, the emergency room, surgical, L&D, different departments we was able to work in. So I kind of learned a lot from that. I have 2 children. I have one, Gwen, and the other one is Richard. They're grown. And I have 6 grandbabies. I have Keyshawn, he's graduating from boot camp come Wednesday. And I have Sasha, she graduates from high school this year. So I'm proud of both of them.
You know, it's like when you think about the work that you do inside of the hospital, there's so much more to you outside of that. And so in these 30 years, you tell us, what have you gained most that has been most rewarding for you?
What I've gained most is just understanding and listening to what patients have to say, because sometimes we go in to do a task and really it's other things that's combined in that. So it's like you have to look at the whole picture. So I've learned a lot from that. Learned also that even with the patients, I mean, sometimes you can be a little lax a little bit, and that makes them a little ease with you, so they can understand and listen to it a little bit easier. So
in these
I
30
enjoy it.
in these 30 years for you, remember when you first started?
Yes.
Little wet behind the ears, you know,
Yes.
and it's like what you've learned through the years. What do you do daily to try to help other nurses, to teach them to be better at their craft?
Well, now that we went into our different charge nurse positions and all, so you're able to kind of guide them as to how to speak to the patients in a way, how to go about educating the patient, how to teach each other, you know, what needs to be done. So I've learned a lot of that.
Very nice. And, you know, with this being Nurses Appreciation Week, ladies, you know, a lot of times you see us at our worst. You see us at a very sensitive time in our lives, a very delicate time for our families. And so you have to wear so many different hats to be able to help those patients, to help them to ease through whatever it is that they're having to go through. And so I want you to give a message to the patients, the people out there of Dublin, Lawrence County that look to you for your care. They look to you for your guidance, your professionalism. And for one, we thank you. What do you want to say to the people out there of Dublin, Lawrence County?
I want to thank everyone for allowing us to take care of you, for trusting us with the care of your mother, father, grandparents, children. It is truly a blessing and an honor for me to care for those that I care for daily. And I'm so thankful that you guys trust us with your care.
Very good. Nurse of the Year?
I'm kind of a little bit just like Megan. As far as we're here for them, as far as being an advocate for them, as far as what they need, what's going to make them better, and what's going to continue, you know, make them have a better life. To learn from medications to, like we say, appointments getting done, we want to educate. So I'm grateful that they choose us to guide them with that. So, like I said, I'm thankful.
Thank you. And we are thankful for you, ladies. We're thankful for all of the nurses, everyone in their respective places in the medical field that do so much. You save lives every day, and you transform lives every day. So it's been a pleasure meeting you both.
Thank you.
Keep doing great things. Thank you. This is Megan, and this is Miss Shirley. Thank you.
Thank you.
This has been such a wonderful day. I cannot get over enough how awesome of a spread that you all have, for one, for the staff here, and that you dedicate this time, you set it aside to honor the nurses. So, ladies, we've done this year after year. Share with the people of Dublin, Lawrence County about how special this is to be able to do this, and share about some of the nurses here and just all of the work that they do in front of the scenes and behind the scenes to make that happen, okay? Introduce.
Hi, I'm Donna Trickey. I'm the Chief Nursing Officer at Fairview. We just really enjoy taking this one day every year to recognize our 300 nursing services employees and everything they do. There are so many days that they don't get a meal break. And so to put on a big spread, as you said, really is a big deal. And, you know, it's every day taking care of patients, and they just run nonstop, making sure our patients get that care and excellence that they need. Patients come to the hospital for nursing care.
That's right.
And so it's really I've been all over the country working at other hospitals. This hospital really does an excellent job of taking care of patients and their families, and so we wanted to recognize them.
And you're doing it gracefully. I mean, you know, I'm going to tell you this. I saw a bowl that was made out of sweet potatoes. And I told the chef, I said, Lord, have mercy. Now you've given me a new way to use my sweet potatoes instead of eating them. I mean, just, you know, just the little things that you see and the details that you take into making sure that they know that they're appreciated. That helps with their work productivity, I would say.
I think so too, but I think one of the doctors probably said it best. He said, you know, I know that this is Nurses Day, but every day is Nurses Day. And I think that that's probably should be our theme every day when patients come to us. It's every day is Nurses Day. We're here for you to take care of you.
And we thank you. You all do it so well. Talk to us, Ms. Sherry.
Our nurses are great at what they do. They love what they do. And you have to come in every day and do what you do. You never know what you're going to get sometimes, especially in the emergency department.
You're right.
It varies from day to day, but it takes a lot of training and knowledge to take care of patients the way they need to be taken care of. And along with that knowledge takes heart.
You're right. And you all have the heart to do that. I'm going to tell you a story about the emergency department. My sister was in a car accident. And you know, you're just not even yourself. I forgot all about Miss TV 35. I'm in that nurse. It was a scene from the ER. You know, I came in there. I almost threw myself on the counter. Help me, y'all. My sister's back there. But what happened was they knew that we were in distress. They knew that we needed answers. And whomever that was behind the counter, it's going to be all right. You know, and they, you know, buzzed us back, you know, and so it's like you get people when we're up here sometimes or even down here emotionally and the care that we receive in those distressful times like that emergency department.
Yes, it takes a lot, and it takes a lot of people to do it, and we have a really good staff that really care about our patients, and we know that the family is just an extension of that patient. So we take care of the family members as well as the patients when they come in because we're all connected.
It's all encompassing.
It is.
It's not just that patient, it's the whole family because it affects everyone.
I just think, you know, you mentioned your story. I think that most of the people in our hospital who work in the hospital have a family member. It's a small community, a family member, someone whose children go to school with your children, friends from church, neighbors. And, you know, we say we're neighbors caring for neighbors. In a town this size, that is absolutely the truth. And as a family member, I've experienced excellent care for my mother when she was a patient. I've been a patient in the emergency department here. And, you know, it's not that I got different treatment because I work here. That is how we take care of every patient. And these guys work so hard and do such an amazing job every day.
Every day.
Every patient, every day.
And of course, and the thing is, you can't always please everyone because there's always going to be, am I right about it? Can the church say amen? But I say that because everyone's not going to be pleased. Everyone's not going to have the same, you know, words to say. But at the same time, you all strive for excellence. You strive for that patient care to make sure that they're satisfied.
We do. We strive for excellence, and it starts, a lot of times it does start in the emergency department with us, but every unit in this hospital gives excellent patient care. The nurses up on the med-surg units, the ones in critical care, the ones back in the OR. I mean, when we make nurse leader rounds, we hear story after story of all the good care that's being given by our nurses in this hospital.
I've got many of them because I've had surgery 3 times here, and so your same-day surgery is outstanding. I mean, I'm drugged up. But after it's all over, I'm typing Dawn, we need to do a show. They were so wonderful. They, you know, and so, and I feel like we're part of the Fairview Park family. My brother, volunteer chaplain of the year, Bishop Otha Stanley. My brother, Richard Stanley, is part of security, and you know my brother. And so it's like, it is that family, that community, taking care of one another.
It absolutely is.
And so thank you. Thank you for what you do, Miss Donna.
Thank you.
Because I'm telling you, it starts at the head. Thank you for what you do, Miss Sherry, because I'm telling you, I don't care what department it is. If that head is not doing what they need to do to make sure that there is a trickle-down effect to where it's smooth and you work out the kinks, then you have problems. So thank you so much for you, ladies, for all that you do. Thank you for everyone here at Fairview Park Hospital who do continue to strive for excellence. Yes, it is Nurses Appreciation Week. This has been the Nurses Excellence Awards luncheon. A lot of awards have been given out, and I think a little of this on the side. But that's just only a small token for what the nurses do to take care of us each and every day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have here for Real Talk on TV 35. Please keep watching.